More people are expected to be off work with swine flu than with seasonal flu because it's more contagious. But what does that mean for business? Here's our business correspondent, Richard Bond.
It's a good idea to have your keyboard cleaned once in a while, but thanks to swine flu, employers are having it done more often.
We've had a big increase of people inquiring on our services to keep swine flu at bay. Swine flu bacteria could be on your keyboards, phones, desk areas, so it's important that people sanitise and deep clean their desk areas.
Employers aren't just thinking about preventing the spread of flu, they're also planning how to cope if lots of staff are off sick. After all, it's reckoned 1 in 5 workers could be off because of swine flu at any one time. How would that affect essential services? Well, councils say bin collections will be OK. South Cambridgeshire says it could cope with 1 in 4 binmen off. Supermarkets say they could maintain supplies even with minimal staffing levels. And Anglian Water says it could manage its services even if half its staff were absent.
What we're doing is we're extending the length of time in between servicing plants and equipment, routine maintenance. It would be like the equivalent of running your car a little bit longer in between its service intervals.
Most small firms haven't drawn up detailed plans. This engineering firm in Lowestoft with 9 staff is one.
Maybe it's going to be blown up out of all proportion. If everybody got it, the swine flu, OK, everyone's got to be off work for a little while. Eventually they'll all be back and we'll all get back to the old routine again.
Firms like this could get lucky and muddle through, but sparks will fly if they get caught out. Richard Bond, BBC Look East.
Well, let's speak now to Dr. Paul Cosford, who's Regional Director of Public Health. Do you believe what the experts say? Is it going to be much worse this next few months?
Well, pandemics in the past have usually come in 2 waves. We've had a relatively small wave for a pandemic that peaked in July. I'll be delighted if we don't get any more, but we have to be prepared for a significant increase in numbers of cases in the autumn, and we're making sure that all our services are prepared if that does happen. And
do you believe that all of the cases that we've had in have been people who've actually had swine flu?
Well, we can't be certain of that because we've gone for a system where we decide on the basis of people's symptoms as to whether they're likely to have had the swine flu or not. And some of them will have ended up having Tamiflu when their flu actually wasn't the swine flu. But actually, I'm much more worried that we make sure that people are aware of the possibility of other diseases, too, things like meningitis. So remember, if you have a fever and you have a rash as well as the symptoms of swine flu, look out for meningitis. The flu pandemic service will guide you through that diagnosis and make sure that it's genuinely swine flu that you're suffering from.
Now, we did ask people to email us or phone in with their questions. Pat from Chelmsford, will the vaccine be safe, particularly for people with underlying health issues?
Well, the vaccine is going through all its safety checks at the moment. We expect it to have a licence in the next few weeks. It's particularly used for people who do have underlying health problems who are at more risk of flu. So yes, when it's available, it will be safe for people with underlying health problems.
Roger from Kelvedon in Essex, why is the health service spending so much money on providing Tamiflu when its effectiveness is shown to be dubious?
Well, when very large numbers of people have the flu, a very small proportion of them will end up with severe illness, may end up needing hospital treatment, intensive care and so on. We have experience of that. We use Tamiflu to lessen the severity of the illness, so it makes it less likely that those people who would otherwise end up in hospital or in intensive care need that level of treatment. So that's what we use Tamiflu for.
And just one very quick one. Carol Ann Jackson from Colchester says her daughter caught swine flu in the summer. Can she catch it again?
You can't if you've genuinely had the swine flu. If it's been a clinical diagnosis, there's always a chance that you may still get swine flu if it was a different form of flu.
And we do have a vaccine on the way, do we?
We have a vaccine on the way. We're expecting it in somewhere around mid-October. We'll be using it for priority groups, people with underlying disease, between October and Christmas, and then we'll be looking further beyond that.
Good. Thank you very much for being with us here this evening. Now, if you want any more information on the subjects we've covered today, you can find more on our website or at the official website, which is direct.gov.uk /pandemic flu. And if you want any more information, there is a helpline and much more that you can contact as well. That's all from us here. Let's go back to Susie in the studio.
Thanks, Stuart. A widower with 2 young children who was accepted for training as a plumber has been told he's too old to take up his place. Lowestoft College told 47-year-old Tim O'Sullivan that places are scarce and the under-19s have taken priority.
Tim O'Sullivan is a busy man. Since the sudden death of his wife almost 5 years ago, he's done everything for his young family. He used to work offshore, but when he became a single parent, he had to give up his job and stay at home. But with Kieran now 9 and moving up to middle school, Tim decided to retrain as a plumber at his local Lowestoft College. This is the letter he was sent in July confirming his place, which he thought was safe. That is, until yesterday.
We were taken into the classroom. To come into the classroom, asked all the people who were the age of 19 to raise their hand and to leave the room, which we did. We were then taken down to the student common room, where the ladies who work in the offices, one of the girls reluctantly come through and had to sort of briefly explain how that was put, that they pulled the plug on us.
We accepted everyone onto the course because we hoped that we could fulfil the provision. It's not an exact science, unfortunately, recruitment. We have many people that will apply for multiple courses, or indeed, like happened yesterday, a number of people who didn't come. So we try to recruit with integrity, and when we do get bottlenecks, as sometimes we do, we look to obviously solve those solutions as rapidly as possible.
Lowestoft College have offered Tim an alternative course in Norwich, almost 30 miles from his home and children, and it's left him feeling very let down.
Whether it is the government, I don't know, or whether it's this bad management from the college, because if they're oversubscribed, they may have known this since the beginning of July, when they have told us that we're definitely on this course. Everyone's geared up and ready to start the course. The day we turn up, it's devastating, absolutely devastating.
Tim O'Sullivan ending that report. He contacted us with his story. If you'd like to do the same, you can call us on 08457 630 630. Let's get the weather with Jules, and it's a bit more autumnal, isn't it?
It is. Very well put, Susie. There's lots of cloud today and some showers during